all you Gretas and Shutas cats out there. Welcome to Chapter 9, Section 1, What is Food Security? So, in less developed countries, people suffer from health problems associated with not getting enough to eat. They are insecure as to where their next meal is coming from. In more developed countries, people are actually suffering health problems from having too much to eat. And there are actually more people on this planet that are dying from overnutrition than undernutrition. So various factors that affect food supply are things like poverty, war, bad weather, climate change, and the effects of the industrialized food production, which we'll be talking about in this chapter. So poverty is, there's too many things on my screen. There we go. Poverty is the root cause of food insecurity. So scientists project by 2050, we're going to need to feed at least 9.8 billion people, about half of which are going to be living in poverty and therefore experience food insecurity. So the official definition is conditions under which people face chronic hunger, poor nutrition, and health problems due to poverty. 3 out of 10 people in the world have to survive on the equivalent of less than $10 a day. That's for everything, not just food. Many people will lack either the access to healthy food or the funds for healthy food. Here in Indianapolis, only 5% of the population is within a 5-minute walk of a grocery store. So we have a lot of what are called food deserts here in Indianapolis. So if you don't have a car and you can only walk, the dollar stores, the fast food, and gas stations are where people are getting their food from, and those are not healthy options for food. So even if you're eating food, you still might be food insecure because you're not getting healthy food. So hunger results when people cannot grow or buy enough food to meet their basic energy needs. So it's not like, oh, it's lunch period and I have period at the end, I'm hungry. No, this is you're not getting enough food to meet what you need for your energy. Chronic malnutrition is lack of protein and other key ingredients. So in low-income, less developed countries, diets tend to be very high carb, a lot of rice, and very low protein. And then food deserts in more developed countries are diets high in fat, sugar, salt, and a little protein. That's called fast food, fast food, fast food. 2 billion people, like a quarter of this planet, suffer from more. Little less than a quarter, suffer from various vitamin or mineral deficiencies due to their diet, either because they're not getting enough or they're eating too much of the wrong stuff. Health problems from overeating, good old American way. Overnutrition officially is the food energy intake exceeds the energy use and therefore is going to cause that excess body fat. Too many calories / too little exercise are what cause those things, resulting from diets high in calories, especially your processed foods. 72% of U.S. adults are either overweight or obese. You guys are years away from joining the U.S. adults, so get in the good habits now. I was in bad habits as a kid, and I paid for it in my 20s. Dangers are you have a lower life expectancy. The heavier you are, the sooner usually you die. Greater risk of disease or illness. A lot of the top killers in the United States, such as stroke and heart disease, can often be caused by being overweight. And they lower the productivity and quality of life. If you can't easily get up and move around without being out of breath because you're so large, your quality of life is definitely going down. Obesity plays a role in heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes, and some cancers. You literally can prevent all of these things by just eating better, or at least massively reduce your chance of getting them by eating better and moving. So ways we can improve food security. We can have government policies such as subsidies to support, improve food production, manage food costs, private and public programs to reduce poverty and malnutrition, education, that's me, teach healthier eating habits and more sustainable food production. Consumers, that's you. You can be locavores, which means you're eating locally. You go to your farmers markets, or even in Meijer, they have on some of their produce, they'll say, hey, this came from this person's farm here in Indiana. CSA programs is another local thing. Urban community gardens, farmers markets is the way to go. And I can get you guys information on some of that stuff. And then reduce food waste. Actually eat all the food that you purchase. And that goes a long way to giving us more food. All right, so we are done with section 1. Before I go, I want to let each and every one of you know you are good enough, you are smart enough, and people do like you. And in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good